Hi, friends. There's a very important day coming up. Can you guess what it is? Oh, that's right. It's Groundhog Day. That's my day. Yes, it is, Mr. Groundhog. Tomorrow is your day. And on Groundhog Day, our little friends, the groundhog, predict the weather. They tell us if it's going to be a long winter or if spring is coming. The little groundhog comes up out of his hole and he looks around. And if he sees his shadow, he gets scared, boop, and he pops back down into his hole. And that means 6 more weeks of winter. But if the little groundhog comes up and he looks around and he doesn't see his shadow, then he can stay out and play. And that means spring is coming soon. I have a book to read for you today. And it's all about Groundhog Day. And it's also about groundhogs. So you can learn a little bit about the holiday of Groundhog Day and also about my little friend the groundhog and how he lives. Now this book is a nonfiction book, which means it's true. Everything in this book is true. And the book is called Groundhog Day. There it is by Gail Gibbons. Let's learn all about Groundhog Day and all about groundhogs. Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day is celebrated on February 2nd. Some people believe that on this day of the year, watching groundhogs can help predict when spring will come. When will spring begin? The date of February 2nd is about the middle of winter. Old stories say that if a groundhog sees its shadow on this date, there will be about 6 more weeks of winter. Oh, I think he's popped up out of his little hole, and there's his shadow. That means more winter. Those stories also say that if a groundhog doesn't see its shadow, spring will come early. Oh, this groundhog has popped out, and he doesn't see any shadow at all. That means an early spring. Groundhog Day grew out of old customs and beliefs. Some ancient people celebrated a spring festival in early February. Many people cleaned their houses and the area where they lived, getting ready for a new beginning, the new spring season. It looks like people are sweeping and washing and getting all ready for spring. People had always thought that they could guess when spring would come by watching animals. They believed that if hibernating animals awoke from their sleep in the beginning of February and saw their shadow, there would be several more weeks of winter. If the animal didn't see its shadow, spring would come soon. They watched animals such as hedgehogs, there's a hedgehog, and bears, and badgers. All of those animals would hibernate, and they would come out in February and look around and see if they could see their shadow. When people came to North America, where we live, some people settled in the state of Pennsylvania. They brought with them the tradition of predicting spring by watching animals. Lots of groundhogs lived in Pennsylvania. Groundhogs are animals that hibernate, so it made a lot of sense to choose groundhogs to predict when the spring would arrive. Ooh, how many groundhogs do you see? Here's 1, 2, 3. Early in February, people watched groundhogs to find out whether they did or didn't see their shadows. This custom became a yearly celebration in many places, including the town of, are you ready? This is hard to say, Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. Can you say that? Punxsutawney. That's a little town in Pennsylvania. Then a man named Clymer Freeze wrote in the town newspaper that February 2nd would be called Groundhog Day. Wow, that was a long, long time ago, and even today we still celebrate Groundhog Day. In Punxsutawney, the special groundhog is always named Punxsutawney Phil. There have been many Punxsutawney Phils. Every year on February 2nd, thousands of people show up at a place called Gobbler's Knob just outside of Punxsutawney to find out if the groundhog named Phil will see his shadow. High up on a stage, Phil is kept in a burrow under a fake tree stump. Oh, there it is. Town officials are also up on the stage. And then at exactly 7:25 in the morning, Phil is taken out of his burrow and everybody cheers. Oh, look, this man has picked up the groundhog. And he's showing him to all the people in the crowd. And the people in the crowd are cheering and clapping. And they have signs that say, "We love Phil." And "Phil, spring?" If Phil sees his shadow, there's Phil, and oh, there's his shadow. Winter will be longer. If he doesn't see his shadow, spring will come sooner. The people make it look as if Phil whispers to one of them whether or not he has seen a shadow. It's all pretend. Sometimes Phil is right. Other times he is wrong. Lots of people think that Groundhog Day is fun. Now that's all about Groundhog Day. Let's learn a little bit about the groundhog. What do you think about that, Mr. Groundhog?
Oh, yes, let's learn more about me.
Okay. A groundhog is a furry rodent. It's a mammal, and it can weigh as much as 10 pounds. That's like a little baby. Many people think that a groundhog is cute when it waddles around. Like other rodents, like mice and squirrels and beavers, groundhogs have large front teeth that grow and grow and grow. To help wear them down, groundhogs have to bite on a lot of things and eat twigs and branches. They also eat leaves and flowers and berries. Groundhogs are found all over our country. They live alone in burrows that they dig with their sharp, curved front claws. And look at this burrow. There's Mr. Groundhog, and there's his burrow. And it's got lots of rooms in it. Look at this. There's a sleeping chamber. That's where he sleeps. And a food storage chamber. That's where he keeps all his food. It's kind of like his kitchen. Here's a nesting chamber where mommy groundhogs have their babies. And here's a hibernating chamber where they have their long sleep all winter long. And this one's the toilet chamber. That's where they go potty. Since groundhogs are prey to many animals, groundhogs stay close to home, usually near one of the entrances to their burrows. When outside their burrows, they may sit up straight with their front paws held tightly against their chests like this, eating and watching for any signs of danger. Uh-oh, here comes a fox. That little groundhog is going to run right to his door and go whoop and go hide and be safe. When danger is near, groundhogs make a sharp, high-pitched whistle to warn other groundhogs. Some of their natural enemies are wolves, foxes, and birds such as hawks. These animals would love to eat a groundhog. That's why the groundhog has to hide. During the summer, groundhogs eat as much as they can to get fat. And in the fall, they go into their burrows and hibernate through the cold months. They sleep all winter. Throughout the winter, all that fat provides nourishment to keep them alive. In some parts of the United States, groundhogs poke their tiny noses out of their burrows during February. Whoop! Oh, here he comes. Right about the middle of winter. Male groundhogs look for a female groundhog at this time, and then they mate. And then about 30 days later, the females give birth to their litters of tiny, blind kits. Oh, look at the babies. They're so small and they can't even see yet. In the first month, the mother groundhog takes very good care of their young. When the kits are about a month old, they open their eyes and then they begin to crawl around. Oh, look at all those cute little baby groundhogs. When the young groundhogs are about 2 months old, they're able to leave their mothers and dig their own burrows. A new generation of groundhogs is ready to take care of itself. Well, that was very interesting, all about groundhogs and how they live. What do you think? Yeah, you think it's interesting too, Mr. Groundhog? People enjoy Groundhog Day. Sometimes children draw pictures of groundhogs and have special snacks. Well, those look like groundhog cookies. And they play games such as shadow tag. People read stories to children about Groundhog Day. Punxsutawney Phil is a big star. People wait to find out whether Phil will see his shadow. But there are other famous groundhogs too, like this one who lives out in California. His name is Chuck Wood. And this one is called Jimmy. And this one is called Sir Walter Wally. There's lots of famous groundhogs besides Punxsutawney Phil. Sometimes gardeners and farmers think groundhogs are pests because they eat their vegetables. Other people think that groundhogs are good at tilling the soil when they dig burrows. Even though groundhogs are not native to every region, people all over the United States celebrate Groundhog Day. The end. Did you like that book? I really like learning about the groundhogs and learning about the special holiday Groundhog Day. What did you think?
Oh, I loved it.
Oh, good. Now, do you think our little groundhog is going to see his shadow? Let's see. Oh, he sees a shadow. He's scared. And he's gone back into his burrow. I guess that means 6 more weeks of winter. Oh, well, maybe we can play in the snow. All right, friends, I hope you enjoyed this book. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.